Hey guys, it is Wednesday, March 13th, and we're at Bitcoin 72,600. This is episode 53, and we're going to talk about mining this episode and the hash rate of being a power law to the time to the power 12. That's Giovanni's latest paper. So let's dig in a little bit and just go to my screen, and let me go to my profile and just talk through what this is. Okay, so I put this diagram here, and let's zoom in on this diagram. And basically what we know, we've seen this before, which is Giovanni's power law in time, which is that Bitcoin is a plotted log is linear in time, which means that actually Bitcoin is a power of time to the power 6, okay? So it's a fact, right? Now, this is very interesting. Bitcoin, Giovanni plotted the hash rate as a power of time, and he found something very interesting. That hash rate is to the power 12, okay? So the hash rate goes up to the power 12 with time, which the ratio of these two things says that price goes up to the power law of hash rate to the power 0.5. In other words, it goes up as the square root of hash rate, right? So I think this is really interesting. And then there's one other thing here, which is the addresses, the number of Bitcoin addresses is going up also as a power law, which is a function of its time to the power cubed, right? So it's a power 3. So these are 4 power laws that are all acting in sync. And I just want to focus on this one here, which is hash rate is going up as a power 12. Now, I've said this before, but and I'm not an expert in mining, but I do feel like the math behind mining is really, really tough. And I put this quote out here. You basically have your hash rate going up against you. It's going to the 12th power, right? And your mining reward, however, your money is getting halved every 4 years. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that it's actually going. You're losing at a 19% interest rate, right? And you can sort of see that because you go 1.19 to the power 4 is 2. Right? So if we didn't have halvings, but we had a sort of yearly decay, it would be equivalent to about 19% per year. But that's not even a power law. That's exponential, right? Because that is time to the power n to the power time, not time to the power n. Right? So it's a very, very big difference there, especially over time. And so I put this stuff together in this spreadsheet here, which is, I just sort of figured out, okay, let's figure out, roughly speaking, right now we're at 500 exahash, which is a quintillion hashes. And if I look at this equation, which is 4 times 10 to the negative 12 times the time to the power 12, right? I get to this where we are roughly in exahash. So this is sort of matches roughly where we are. And you can kind of see what this implies going forward, right? Mining hash rate's just going up like crazy, which makes sense because it's going up at the 12th power, right? So if you have 1 exahash, you bought 1 exahash, you have, right now you have about you have 20 basis points of the entire network right now, right? So if you have 5 exahash, like Swan does, they have 1% of the Bitcoin network, right? Let's actually put that in there. So I'm going to let's put for 5 exahash here, just so we can see, right? So if you have 5 exahash, I'm just going to change this around, right? You have about 1% of the network, right? So if Swan just kept their mining like this, so 5%, right? But, it's going down in 5 years, unless they buy more, they're going to have, they're going to have 0.06%, right? So it goes down really, really fast. Right? You just have to kind of read. It's just like a really fast decaying thing, right? Now, on top of that, right, you have this phenomena, which I mentioned there before, which is on average, your mining rewards are going down 19% a year, right? And now this is lumpy. It's not all 19% every year. It's every 4 years, which makes it even more difficult to model, right? And it also leads to many people, if they get the timing just right, they can make money, whereas other people are going to lose a lot of money, right? But if we just look at this 19% over a year and you add this stuff together, right, your rate, your rewards really just decay very rapidly, and sort of like, and which is kind of something you notice as a miner, and I've done a little bit of mining, just token amounts, right? But basically after 4 years, you're not making any money at all with your miners, right? And this doesn't even include the cost of electricity. This is just kind of pure sort of if you didn't pay anything for electricity. So you're basically facing these just incredible headwinds. And why is that? Well, it's because this, it's because this mining, there's so much hash rate in the system, and hash rate's growing at, this power 12 of time. This strikes me as, if you want to play in this game, great. Mike Alfred understands this stuff, and the individual companies and stuff. Seems great. But I take more of a Warren Buffett view, and my view is, this is an industry kind of like the aviation industry, which is structurally overinvested. Warren Buffett once said, if you took all the profits of the aviation industry since the Wright brothers invented the airplane, it would be negative. I think, I'm not sure if it's still negative or it was negative when he said that 20 years ago, but it really is it always has been an over-invested industry. And I kind of think mining is as well. And part of the reason is, I think, is that the simple thing, which is just to buy Bitcoin, people are overcomplicating that. They don't want to just buy Bitcoin. They want to do something. They want to feel like they're productive. So they go and they get a mining, and they're trying to beat Bitcoin. They're just trying to get an edge somehow. They want to feel useful. So I actually think this is like, idle hands, are the devil's friend. I think something like that. And I feel like what you should do is just buy Bitcoin and hold it. That's the best possible return. But here again, we can't do that. We're very, very temperamental and beings, right? And we basically just want to always move around and do stuff. And I think that's what kills us. So that's just a little bit of a philosophical thing. Not a big fan of mining. I don't think this is going to hurt the Bitcoin network if it corrects and we do less mining, because I think we have a lot of security in the Bitcoin network. It just feels to me like not a place that I personally want to invest. And that's episode 53. We'll catch you at the next episode.